Check, baby, check, 1, 2. This is an audio check. Let me know if you can hear us. Good morning, ladies and germs. Pedro, I'll be with you in just a moment. While you're waiting for us to get started, please like, share, do everything. Open up a second browser in incognito mode, anything to get our viewership up here on Rumble. Thank you very much. We'll be with you in a minute. All right, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to DYOR Live here on the DYOR Media Network. My name is Tom, otherwise known as Striking, here in the digital media world. So glad to be hosting another episode of this great award-winning show. I'm here, as usual, along with my co-host, Pedro Garcia, the crypto chart analyst here. He's going to bring you all the good stuff here today. It is July. What date is it, everyone? The 24th. I have to ask every day because I can't believe we are closer to New Year's than we're closer to New Year's. Okay. The next New Year's than the previous one. But anyway, the year is going by quickly. We're in that part of the summer where we see the summer doldrums going on with Bitcoin like right now. Everybody is thinking, oh my God, altcoins should pump. It's time to go. They're not. They moved a little bit, but then they pulled back. Kind of move around. Just tricking us, everybody. But is it really a trick or is it just part of the non-randomized plan for crypto going on? Anyway, we talk about that with Pedro. Also, the theme of the show today, if you didn't notice, theme of the show, where is it? Here we go. AI and crypto beware. AI and crypto beware. What does that mean, ladies and gentlemen? What can that mean? Well, not always is AI good for things. Usually there's a human element involved in it, but as we all know, AI can do an amazing amount of great things. We see the examples of that every day. But what happens when it goes wrong and it's your money? Are you going to end up in prison in some foreign country? I don't know. We'll see. We'll talk about that later. But Pedro, my man, the legend, what is happening today, man?
Man, some good stuff is actually populating. We're seeing some dopey-dope cool things when it comes to the market here.
Dopey-dope cool things.
Yes, again, that's another t-shirt. You know what I'm saying? Well, when we come out with our hoodies, right, for the show, part of it's going to say dope, and on the back it's going to say dopey-dope cool things, right? And then, and it'll be really soft, fleecy, high quality Egyptian hoodie. You might have to spend a pretty penny, but it will be nice and have a QR code kind of on the shoulder, kind of like American flag, and on the other side, on the right side, American flag to the show. Anyhow, woo, America.
Right, so, wait,
yeah.
I believe I have that queued up and ready to go. I don't know why I haven't done it, but anyway. America. Welcome, crypto unicorns, to the show. Looking forward to the show. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. I saw that they posted, watched on YouTube previously came over to Rumble for the community. So thanks for doing that.
Absolutely. Thank you guys. Really do appreciate that. Now, one of the things I think is really interesting about Bitcoin is we stayed above. Now, we talked about this play here. I'm going to point this out here again. Can they see me?
Yeah, they can see you. I just didn't have the price up.
Awesome. That's absolutely awesome. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. Now, look at this here real quick. We closed above the 8-period moving average into ETH. All right. ETH stayed above, and we hit this area of 37,000 already, from that 35 to 37,000. We talked about this play right here a couple times now, where when we play and stay above that 8 and we start to see an increase of that volume, excuse me, as I burp in your ear, which is really gross. I'm sorry. That is really gross. I'm so sorry about that. I hate it when that happens. Okay. But you can see here, as you start to see that kind of like increase in green volume, as we're staying above, playing off of that 8, you can see here, as we start to move up, right? This area is really the indication of, okay, we're now pushing up. So we saw it right here. And I said, we're holding off of that 8. That is a very bullish signal, because there was no other real moving averages here. And so as that started to push, we saw it really pick up. Now, I said, we're really overextended in ETH. And you're like, Pedro, well, we're supposed to be talking about like Bitcoin. That's what you do. Well, I'm trying to give you guys a little bit of alpha here to see, hey, we have a potential pullback opportunity where we can get in, right? And so when that happens, we want to do that. And so we talked about how we're kind of really extending away from the other moving averages. So I'm expecting it to kind of pull back down to that 31.79 area. I thought we were going to push through here, but you know, like, hey, it's okay. It's not bad. The fact that that pullback here gives opportunity for people to pick up. So with that said, let's check out Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is actually staying above the 8. And not only that, but we're seeing it consolidate here, which is a good sign. That consolidation means it might not sell off, but we might actually see the 20 period or that weekly 8 catch up to price, which when that happens, that gives a signal saying that it's going to most likely be the next leg up. So these things are kind of dope. This is a dopey dope.
Just
awesome
kind of dope, or are they dope?
It's almost overstoking dope, honestly. But I got to be careful there, because we can't be overstoking dope here, all right? So, but in that same sense, we're still in this range area here. And within this range, it's looking pretty cool. So I know it sounds, you're like, wait, why is it cool to be in? Because that means that they're loading up, which means that this becomes an actual footing, right? For us to pull back to at that 120,000 if we hit a major sell-off again. So remember, I talked about in this next bear market, if we have one, where's it going to pull back to? And if it does, it's looking like it. And again, this is all hypothetical, so I don't know, right? But this area, if you look at it, it's a nice area to pull back to, right? Like you know, this 100 to 120,000 area. If we come back down, remember we saw the same situation in the past bull run, right? Where you saw it, the previous high, which is around that 30,000, 20,000. We saw it pull back to, right? This was the last bull run. It went from 60,000 all the way down to 15 to 20,000. And so if we see, we're building up that same situation right here, right? Here was the base that pushed up for that, or here was the base for that push up, right? The previous high. Here's previous high. Here's previous high. And we can see when it pulls back, it can pull back to this area here or to this area here. I think it's going to be, honestly, I think that 120 area, because it's a round number, is where it's going to pull back to. That 120, 100,000 area is really what I'm thinking. So that's why I'm excited about that. It's simply because I was looking at that going, You know what? There's so many institutions. And the other part behind it as well is, so I was doing a little digging on the CME, and the CME has seen a huge 120% increase. Oh, I think 120% increase over crypto futures trading this past year. And this past month, they saw 14%. Mind you, we're halfway through the year. A 14% increase in crypto trading, commodities, crypto commodity trading in this, jumping up XRP as a commodity, pushing Sol as a commodity along with ETH and with Bitcoin. This is going to be one of those things that it's like, okay.
The CME's volume's going to go bonkers in crypto.
That's exactly what yes.
Buy CME stock.
Well, here's the other part behind it as well is, and I look at it from this perspective. Again, remember we've talked about how it's extremely leveraged, right? It's 100 to 1, just buying one contract. And with that one contract, we can actually see a huge correlation with Bitcoin or with the commodities on CME that correlate with, guess who? Who are we talking about? Spot market. And so when you start to see that correlation really play, and you start to see a shrinking of the time difference of when one goes up and one goes down, or when one goes down, one goes up, right? And you see the divergence, this is when it's really important to pay attention to, is that divergence, so you can actually capitalize on that. And so I'm excited about that. And then talking about perpetual futures. They're talking about perpetual futures. They're talking about literally keeping it in. So where else are they going to make their profit then? Because remember, traditional commodities are every month, 2 month, 3 month. It's typically what it sits at. So I'm expecting them to somehow either start to participate, which they can't, or they may on another exchange, right? And because again, I'm always looking to see where they're going to screw us over. So, but here's the thing: if you use a DeFi exchange, right, which right now there's no laws against this, I would play this. If I did this, I would play this, right? Saying, okay, I'm going to go long over here, play off of here, because they need to make their money somehow. So these are going to be really interesting times as we move forward. But when it comes down to it, right now, Bitcoin is really kind of in that consolidation area here that I've been looking at. And again, I think this is going to be really ready for it to push up. I'm really looking at us staying above that 8-period moving average. That's what I want to see us do, okay? I want to wait until we see that weekly 8-period moving average, which is what we've been playing off, which we've had this green line here. We've been waiting for this. We've been watching this. And this, let me move this out of the way for now. We should see this jump up to about right here. This is going to be the 8-period moving average. And when this jumps up to here over this next week, if we stay in this consolidation period, this is just a good understanding that maybe next week we'll have another consolidation and then push up, come down. So again, I was hoping for the 130 mark this year, or excuse me, this month, but it looks like we might consider staying here. So again, I don't know right now because it's inconclusive. The charts aren't fully telling me everything, but it is saying that there is a consolidation period and people are basically kind of buying at these levels. They're kind of saying we don't have really an excessive amount of buyers nor excessive amount of seller wicks, right? We kind of like, you have seller wick, buyer wick. It's about equal. Then you have buyer wicks here, but then you have seller wicks, or excuse me, you have seller wicks right here, but then you have buyer wicks right here. We have buyer wicks sitting right here. So it's like, it's a little bit inconclusive. We're kind of waiting to see when they really are going to push this. But I'm excited. So that's what I'm looking at. Over the weekend, I expect us to typically kind of come and stay in this range that we've been sitting in, unfortunately. I was hoping we could come down and get some liquidity on this area right here, but they're just not. And it's frustrating. It's almost like, it's like a girl getting close saying, oh, I really like you. I think you're really cool. And she gets like right here and you're like, and then she pulls away. And you're like,
then you realize it's your phone.
Oh, hey, what's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with your phone. All right.
I must have had pizza last night.
Oh yeah. Get it, baby, get it.
Yeah, anyway, welcome everybody watching us on Rumble. We really appreciate it. If there's anyone out there named Zach and Paid watching, thank you for joining us today. We really appreciate it. If Barbie, if you're out there too, thank you very much. Met as you know, Pedro and I have known Zach from the Crypto Breakfast Club for a long time. Zach Humphreys met Paid in person, and Barbie, that's part of their group as well. Met her in person as well. Thanks to a good bunch of people. If you're watching to us today, drop some comments. Make sure you hit that follow button. We need some additional commenters to be continuing being a crypto creator on Rumble. We have to have 20 unique chatters every month. We get plenty of viewers, but the people who want to chat are rare. So you got to get in there and chat with us. And that's done by signing up for Rumble. Don't need to pay. You can just do the free plan. Click sign up. Use your Google, Facebook login, whatever, or you can use your email like normal. Sign up for an account, come back, click like, click share, do all that type of stuff. And apparently there's a repost feature where you can repost it into your own feed, and that helps the algorithm as well.
Yeah, that's actually, I've been messing with that. That's actually been pretty cool. So I totally forgot about that. We need to start sitting there saying that because I do notice that it's a pretty cool situation. All right, so I'm actually going through right now, and I'm actually going to try to do that myself. Tom, let me ask you a couple quick questions in relationship to what we've been talking about with the markets. As a novice guy in the market, but yet you're getting better and better, what do you feel like? Do you get anxious when this market starts to go sideways? Like, how do you feel about that? Because remember, I say 60% of the time the market goes sideways, 20% it goes up, 20% it goes down. And it's predominantly always kind of going to be going up. So I would say maybe 22% of it goes up and 18% of it goes down. But ultimately, the vast majority of it is a sideways market. How does that make you feel?
I used to freak out because in a sideways market with a lot of chop, I would get hammered in trading. I would lose money hand over fist. And that I'm not talking, as we all know, I don't have large accounts here, but it would be $25 a clip. Boom, 25 loss, 25 loss, 25. Next thing you know, I'm down $200, and you're like, what is going on here? Now I stay out of the market when it's going sideways. Because I'm not good enough to recognize the smaller patterns and the smaller time frames that you can trade actively. If I'm sitting at my computer all day staring at it and getting an idea for the trend, I can play the sideways markets a little bit. But a good example is I took the past couple of days off from trading. I was doing some personal stuff with Striking Jr. I had my daughter over last night, so I didn't analyze the markets last night to look at the open this morning. And I just stayed out of the markets. And I'm calm, cool, and collect about it. I didn't feel like I missed anything. I didn't feel like I was left out. I did feel a little lost, though, looking at the chart this morning after not looking at it really for a few days. You're like, wow, I didn't see that up and down. You get used to seeing everything that's going on, and well, at 2 weeks, it's the same pattern. But, so the new Tom with proper little restraint and some rule-based trading instead of emotion-based trading is like, okay, I didn't participate in that, and that means I didn't lose anything. And as we all know, there's this famous stat going around saying that only 1% of day trading accounts make money at the end of the year, and I don't believe that's true. I think that's just the way they measure it. I think it's just a little bit more. But it's only a little bit more. It's only a little bit more. And the point is if you can be in that 1%, I mean, all you have to do is just never trade and you're in the 1%. So if you trade smartly and follow some rules that'll get you some wins, you can stay in that 1% of winners. And that's you've beat it into my head about rules for trading, having checklists of things looking for patterns and only trading the ones you're good at that you've practiced in demo. And so I can go back in the consolidation period that we've had and look and say, okay, the two patterns, trade setups that I focus on happen here, here, and here. Had I been in the market, I actually would have made money because I likely would have taken those trades and made a few bucks. And so that's just as enlightening as winning the trade for me now. I can go and say, yeah, I didn't on Saturday. I stayed out of the market because it's crazy. But on Sunday, I would have got in the market just as Asia was starting to come online here because my setup showed up, and and I would have taken it, and I can see from backtesting it would have played out. But I've done that in the past too, where you go, yep, I took my setup here. Oh, I would have got stopped out within seconds because the market just reversed for, Trump opened his mouth or whatever. But on average, I can go back in consolidation periods or periods that I wasn't trading and find the models that I trade. And usually, I would say I would have definitely traded that one and made money. I would have missed that one because I was sleeping or doing something else. But I'm okay. I'm okay. And that's unlike the previous time, which was like, I was like this. I was like with the mouse, like, gotta trade, gotta make another $25, gotta make another $25. And then I would lose. And I'd be like, my $1,000 account would be at $200. And you're like, next thing you know, the account's zero. But like in the past, as you know, since January or so, I haven't been doing that. I have made plenty of mistakes, but I haven't had that emotional attachment to needing to trade or feeling the need, well, the market's consolidating, let me just try something else. No, go over to demo and try it. We'll try it with your own money.
Yes, that's exactly.
And I did that, and I did that. I was just trying something else, and I tried it in demo. That wasn't during this past few days. This was 2 weeks ago, and I got smoked. I was like, oh yeah, that I didn't. I'm not looking at that correctly. Other people were like, yeah, that's a good setup, and I was like, I was losing, and I was like, oh, because I just didn't understand it.
Pretty much.
Still have some construction going on here. I gotta shut this window here.
It is all good. As Tom has construction stuff going on, and he lives in downtown Chicago, and with that there is fun times had by all, but then there's also hard times had by all when it comes to construction and all the craziness that correlates there. So,
well,
yeah.
Pedro,
can you tell me about Rumble and how it works?
No, but I will tell you that I need a little coffee to shape up my morning here. I just need a little 1775 coffee to help things along here.
Tell me about it.
Have you still not tried 1775 coffee? Well, now's your shot. The 1775 starter kit has just dropped. Only 1,000 units. It's just like Bitcoin. It's scarce. It's only so many. You're getting the bold dark roast that hits harder than a CNN fact check. The smooth medium roast. The Vitality Mushroom Coffee for a clean energy and laser focus and no crash. 1775, you guys need to rewrite that so it's more clear that there are 3 different kinds you get in this kit. You get the bold dark roast.
Yes.
You get the smooth medium roast. And you get the Vitality Mushroom Coffee. 1, 2, 3 for a clean energy and laser focus. No crash. And they're all single origin, small batch, toxin free, and mold free. Plus, you're also getting a gold spoon clip because freedom isn't scooped with plastic, ladies and gentlemen. No, no, no. You're also getting a frother strong enough to stir up the coffee and your mother-in-law's political opinions. I've had a few mother-in-laws, and not all of them had good political opinions. But the current one, we have a good time. We have a good time talking about politics. She's Canadian, but she follows U.S. politics, and Canadian politics is just as messed up as U.S. now. So it definitely would stir up her political opinions. You also get a black 1775 tumbler that says, I don't take life advice or caffeine from a woke C-witch.
My favorite part.
Nope. You get $170 worth of coffee and gear, yours for $99. This is for the ones who've been watching 1775 blow up on Rumble. Wondering, is it actually worth it? Well, spoiler, it is. It's worth it, ladies and gentlemen. Go to 1775coffee/studio and grab your starter kit before they're gone. Bold beans, clean fuel, and a morning routine that stands for something just like Rumble does. Start your day with coffee that actually backs what you believe. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Anyway, 1775coffee.com/studio, or click this QR code right here. Watch it on TV, hold your phone up to it, go to the website, check it out. Please do it for us. Let our advertisers know that we have an interactive crowd that's interested, so they keep paying us to do this. And thank you to 1775 Coffee for sponsoring this segment.
Absolutely. Thank everyone, you guys. You guys rock the mic like Rama Lama Lama, the ding the dang dong. So, one of the things I really notice about the markets here, and really what's happening, is a lot of the laws that are being passed right now are definitely being set up in a way that is, I feel like, favoring centralized exchanges versus decentralized exchanges. And it's one of those things that has been kind of frustrating, because I'm like watching, like when I look at HBAR, right? And HBAR is just took off. I mean, it was like we saw it come down to our area here, back here. And this is the weekly. All right. This was our area here that we're looking at. We talked about this, and I said, all right, we got a couple places we could be getting in on. One was the situation here where this was the previous high, and the other one was right here that we talked about, right? And again, we drew these lines, not eons ago, but a long time ago. And I also drew these lines here, right? I said, this is our bear market bottom here. We got two other areas, that 48 cent area and that 27 cent area. It couldn't get down to the 27 cent area here. And again, I pulled these off of the chart on coin market cap, because they actually follow these guys almost indefinitely. So that's where I got these zones. I didn't just pick them out of random air. It was actually zones that I saw, and then I took the price and brought it onto here. So this is why I have these here. But when we saw Hedera really kind of find support right in this level here, and we started seeing it kind of go up, it was very noticeable. And a lot of the legislation that we're seeing are these companies. Now again, I like Hedera. I wouldn't call it an XRP, but I wouldn't necessarily call it a Monero, right? Like there's these factors here that I have a hard time with. And part of me is just like, I don't know, I need, obviously I want to make money. And so I'm watching institutions really step in and get involved in what is happening here, and they're really kind of planning for the future. And I'm actually putting forth this because on the Zach Humphreys show, or not the Breakfast Club show, which is on X. If you guys haven't gone on X, type in Zach Humphreys. Was it Zach_Humphreys? And you can find him. As well as Paid XPO. He's another one who you can check out. And they do a show. And this morning they were talking about HBAR. And it was I had a hard time with it because, again, it's supposed to be a decentralized system that allows for business to really progress, right? And it's becoming centralized. And this partnership between XRP and potentially HBAR, again, centralizes decentralization, and it frustrates me. So it's just like, man, I hope we don't see and I put this in a way it's going to sound bad,
yeah,
but not a super bad thing, because it will bring a lot of clarity. But it is a bad thing because it suppresses the small business person who wants to develop something in Web3. Just like remember when Web 2 started, and you had a few versions happening there, right? Reiterations, and then we saw Google, Yahoo, and a bunch of other browsing corporate entities really take hold and really push everything forward. But it became so centralized that they became the strong horse in the actual market that drove everybody, and it drove everybody in one direction. And so my fear is that we're going to see XRP, we're going to see HBAR, we're going to see a lot of these other large corporate entities that are decentralized but centralized. And so this is where my fear is we're going to lean and push out the small true innovation, and again end up in a Web 2 situation, but just Web 3 where you have 5 to 10 main players, and that's about it. So it's just, I don't like it, but I know we have to go that way. So it's just this hard fight here.
You know, Pedro, when you started this topic, you started talking about the going-ons in Washington, D.C. with centralized exchanges and the bills being written for them. And
Or
one of
the-
the, I got to point out, because I follow this pretty heavily, because Mrs. Striking is involved in the lobbying industry. Centralized exchanges have a lot of money because they make a ton of money, and they can pay lobbyists. They can pay lobbyists to write bills or to influence legislators to write bills, provide data. Government loves data, especially when businesses provide it, because then they can use it and say, see, we were right, here's the data. And there's nobody's doing that for decentralized, though. I mean, the people that do it for decentralized are doing it altruistically. They're raising their own money, like the Coin Bureau, not Coin Bureau, the guys in Washington, D.C. that lobby on behalf of the crypto industry. And they raise money themselves. And they lobby on behalf of freedom of speech, freedom to do what you want, privacy, yada, yada, yada. They lobby against government overreach, blah, 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 blah. But they have a small budget. You know, Coinbase has a massive budget. XRP, Ripple has a massive lobbying budget. So they get the influence in Washington, D.C., where the DEXs do not. And I see this as a continuing problem. And it's up to people like us that have a small voice to band together and make us think about it. And say, hey, DEXs are just as important, if not more important, than centralized exchanges. And we're going to talk about that in a little bit later, too, about how you can get in trouble with what the centralized exchanges report on you.
Speaking of it, let's check out HBAR's chart here. So we talked about HBAR pulling back here down to that 22, 23 area here. And you can see it's pretty clear. We're coming back down to that 20-period moving average. And more importantly, you can see here that even in these red days, right, which seem like pretty big red days, not a lot of volume when they actually came in. So it looks like they were just simply trying to push it down to pick up at a cheaper level, which is about right here. So I like that 22 area, 2277 area to that 2232 area. Nice little area here. Also, I like if we don't stop here, which I think we're going to stop. But if we don't stop here, then this lower area of that 18 to 19 cent area here is another area to pick up again. Again, the reason why is look at the weekly volume stepping in. Look, we're definitely seeing it come up. So typically when you have a small amount of red volume that moves the same amount of the previous week, but that previous week had a ton of volume, all this is just a pullback to pick up demand and so that they can push it back up. So don't know how far it's going to go. Maybe, as I always say, if we see it go down at the beginning of the week, so next week when we come into it, which will be the last month or the last week of the month, I would expect to see it first pull back, then go up. Now, also with that said, we want to also pay attention to the monthly candle, because the monthly candle have pretty much just gone all the way up. We want to see this thing, if it does close below, we want to see Hedera close about near the ASMA. We want to see it close around here, right, on that weekly. So about where it's at right now to about where it's at here. This area here is a prime point of if it comes back down to that area and we see it close, expect next month to go down first, then to continue higher and potentially get back up to that 40 cent area. And then after that, who knows, right? So that's about it in a nutshell.
What's Hedera's all-time high?
Let me check CoinMarketCap here real quick for you. Here, talk amongst yourself with the peanut gallery. I'll be back in a second. Give me a second.
Hedera gets a lot of play in Europe. I get a lot of welcome new viewer Kay Hurls. Thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Yes, good to have you. I'm sorry. I'm so happy when we get new people. I'm like a puppy. What's up? How you doing?
Might be someone I know. But regardless, new viewer, new commenter, thank you very much. Helping us get to our goals of having 20 unique chatters per month so we can stay in the Rumble Creators Program. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it.
Miss K, it is good to have you as always. I may not know you, but I think I know you, but it doesn't matter because thank you so much for that.
Otherwise known as Striking Et.
Nobody needs to know about Striking Et, okay? Okay? Just
Anyway, Pedro, as I was saying, I've got a lot of friends in Europe, and many of them talk about Hedera, and I don't know where Hedera was founded. If it was a crypto valley thing in Zug, Switzerland, or if it's Europe centric. But a lot of people say, why aren't you for X project, whatever project? Why aren't you on Hedera? Why aren't this, and this reason? And the answer is questions I always hear. Well, why? Why is it different than Solana? Why is that different than that? And I never get a good answer about why is it different. And to be honest, I've never put in the time to research why it's different. But a lot of people hammer it out saying it's perfect for business. Now, the question is,
it's the business mechanisms for it, because it's the quickness of the speed of their blockchain allows for transaction. And go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, but that's great 5 years ago when when was their all-time high, in 2017 or something?
Yeah, around there. Yeah.
And that's great. 2017 blockchains are ancient compared to the ones being made today. I mean, there's blockchains with 20,000, 50,000 transactions per second. Now, the next couple of months, they're going to be 100,000. With blocks 1 second long and that type of stuff. So the question is, are they forking and getting faster? Are they staying the same? I mean,
are they forking getting faster? That is a great dad joke.
Are they forking and getting putting out a fork with new technology that's faster? Oh, fork.
That was good. Here we are. It's interesting looking at some of the liquidity pools here. I can't believe CoinMarketCap is actually allowing for this. I got this song stuck in my head. That is what I need.
La 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 la.
All right, boom. All right, why is it doing this? Market cap, boom. Give me the full market cap, dog. Come on. Oh, that's why. Okay, give me all. Alrighty, there we are. No, actually, so when it comes, it looks like they started back in 2020, right? They pushed up basically from a $8 million or $8.9 million market cap, about 10 million. It's
billion?
Crazy. 10 billion. Their peak was 12 billion. So, and I've met a few people. I mean, Crypto Mason, I know he got into them at, I think it was like 10 million or 50, I think it was 15 million, and caught it up all the way up into, I think in the 100 million, and then rode it all the way back down to like 15 million again. And he's like, I am not gonna let myself lose this money, right? And like in the next bull run, I'm gonna literally take profit. And then so I remember watching him, and then he was just like, all right guys, when we get to like, and I forgot what it was, but he caught, bro. Look at that market. That is absolutely crazy. Like,
yeah, why did Hedera pump in January or December of whenever that was? I mean,
I think it was,
they 4x'd in a week.
Yeah, they was absolutely. They went from 1.8 billion billion all the way up to 12 billion. So almost 13 billion. I don't know in detail, but right now they're sitting around the 12 or 11.6 billion or 12 billion, which is pretty impressive for the likes of where they started. So shout out to the Billy Club over there. Good job. Just remember to let the small guy develop. Okay? Let them develop. All right? Let the business side really grow, and let the small man develop. Don't crush him. But that's business in general. So it's like I'm trying to tell a tiger, you see that lamb? Trying to tell that, that lion, you see that lamb? Be nice to him. Yeah.
No.
How's that gonna work out? No. It's interesting. I wonder if you saw a lamb and a lion.
$1 million.
Now even just saying $1 billion is like saying $1 million now. How many billionaires are in the world? It's crazy. And you know why? Because the government keeps spending money and raising the debt. That's it. That's it. To quote Tom Bailu, look, if you don't want that many billionaires, stop printing money. Because when you print money, what happens?
That money goes into the markets, inflations. People inflate them. Imagine inflating yourself into a billionaire, Pedro. I'm like, man, I only got $700 million. That sucks. I am nobody. Well, we had 30% inflation this year. Hey, I'm a billionaire. Woohoo!
You want to know something funny? It's actually sad. It's funny, it's sad, it breaks my heart. I knew a guy, sold his business, started from nothing, and within 8 years, not crypto, it was in insurance, but basically built it up to $100 million, and he sold it, I think it's 8 years or 7 years. Sold his business for $100 million. He was doing good, as his business was doing good, making good money, right? Maybe $1 million a year after taxes, 500, 600,000, right? But imagine going from, doing well for yourself to $100 millionaire. And in that same year, the government goes and literally prints 40% of the value of amount of dollars in 1 year. And literally that $100 million, when it comes to value-wise, drops all the way down to 60 million. And remember, he had to pay taxes on that. So he literally pays 100 million, gets 50, and drops all the way down to 25 mil. Value-wise.
People don't understand that concept of how much taxes and inflation sap your wealth. I mean, and that's people put their money in all different parts of the world. They have all these tax schemes and all this stuff. It's not because, a small part of them are just anti-government, anti-tax people. I don't want to pay the government any money at all because they're evil, this type of stuff. But most people see what you just explained, Pedro. They see that printing money inflates the currency supply, deflates the value, and they want to avoid that. And they want to stay in gains or at least flat. If there's 7% inflation in a year, so we need to at least earn 7% on our money. And that doesn't involve massive income taxes or taxes on the rich, because the rich people now make, I think someone even referred to people that make $85,000 a year now as like, wow, they're wealthy, and 44,000 is the poverty line. So we're only allowed to operate in a very small amount of salary now.
Depends on where you live.
Either you're right, yeah. $85,000 in San Francisco, bro, and you're living on the streets in a tent. $85,000 in Mobile, Alabama. You have a nice house.
Yeah, if you literally live in New York, you need to at least make $120,000 a year just to be above the water with your lips going.
And share a one-bedroom apartment with someone else.
Yeah, one sleeping on the couch and one sleeping in the room. Real. And you're making $130,000 a year. If you took that same amount and you went down to, like you said, Southern Alabama.
Right.
Yeah, Alabama. You making $120,000, dude. You would be a boss. Like a boss.
Well, the boss probably does make 120, and he pays all his employees 35.
There you go. That's exactly what's up. But
and
again,
just the point being is that so many people understand that, and that's why there's tax schemes, all these types of your money's in offshore businesses, and this type of stuff, because people want to not get poor from tax and deflation. Because you gave an example that tax and deflation could take 75% of your money, and people are like, that's crazy. It's not crazy. It's entirely possible.
Man, if that man would have waited to sell his company, literally 3 to 4 months later, he would have been worth $200 million. He could have sold it for, or at least 150 to 200 million. And the part that's so horrible is that when the government comes in and takes that tax, you don't even realize that they could, again, take another tax called inflation. And that's them hoping their debt as a nation to help pay things off more. And this is the part that it's that unseen tax. And again, I'm actually parroting Tom Bilyeu. He does a better job on one of his, if you go check out his page over on YouTube, he does a whole entire deep dive on inflation, taxes, and how it actually affects the common man. And if the common man actually knew how bad the government steals from them, they would not allow them to give them money. They would not allow them, because it's literally, it's like I'm giving you, anybody who's ever been on a street performer who's an illusionist, right? What's the one thing that they do? They flash you over here, right? And they go, hey, look over here, look over here. And then they reach around and steal your pocket, right? That's exactly what inflation is that I'm going to give you a fake silver watch here. I'm going to give this to you. But then I reach in and grab your bank and grab your cash and your wallet.
Same thing. Funny. It's the same thing.
Here you go. They're taking your money and saying, hey, I gave you a watch. And the truth is, yeah, and you also bankrupted me because you pulled out more money than that watch was worth by a tenfold. Because remember, inflation constantly eats up. And when inflation happens, which is brought about literally by printing money, okay, within the government, and there's actually, let me clarify, there are two types of inflation, but there's innovation inflation, and then you have governmental spending inflation. And the governmental inflation literally robs you, and it hurts the government, and it helps the government. Whereas innovation inflation means that prices go up, but when they go up, your quality of living goes up with it, but almost higher. Back in the 80s, we saw good inflation where we saw private innovation really take off, and we saw huge gains. We also have seen this in early parts of American history, as well as in many other cultures out there. So it was just one of those things that I think is really important to understand. That with that said, real innovation and good inflation happens with small companies or large companies really innovating and making something cheaper, or giving you a better product that you can then want it, and then it adds more jobs, adds more value to the economy. And then that value increases with your money as well. And we see that growth aspect behind it. Okay, that's a lot, man. And I feel like I'm really belaboring this topic here when we probably want to talk about something else here.
No, yeah, Pedro, this is probably a good time. First, do a little social media action here. I took a screenshot of when we were talking about H-bar. I took about 10 of them trying to get a good picture of your face when you were talking. Got a lot of bad ones, but I think I got a decent one that's good enough for it shows you in action. And I tweeted it out to the H-bar crowd. And so while I'm doing my thing here, go over to X. I tagged you on it, and look for that and send it out. If we can get the attention of the H-bar crowd, they've got a big community as well. It would be good for the viewership. But as for everybody else, there's a couple of you watching on YouTube. Really appreciate it. And then our Rumble crew here. Drop a comment, ladies and gentlemen. Comments always help us, because we are actually a live show. We're a live show, and we're interactive, and we answer questions for you, and you over there. So do that. But the topic of the day, Pedro, I read an article yesterday. I'm always on the lookout for good opinion pieces here. And it's AI and crypto, beware. And you're like, well, AI and crypto, and obviously, we've talked about many good things that crypto can benefit from AI, from analysis of trends and all that, to root out the good parts of rooting out fraud. Just keeping having an AI agent that works for you and feeds you information that helps you with your trading, all good stuff. AI can create cryptos. AI can even make money now on cryptos and use it to fund other things that you have. It's you can develop an agent that can make money in crypto and then use that money to pay for whatever you need to, and that type of stuff. So many good things. But I read an article that made me cringe and realize that there are some downsides to all of this here. And let me bring up my screen here. Hopefully it's...
Bring up that screeneth.
Hopefully I've got the right screen here, and I didn't check it to make sure it worked. I got it. Yes, it's the right one.
Yay, you got it.
It's pricing off here. In this article about India ramps up crypto tax enforcement with international data sharing and AI. And you think, well, that's a good thing. That's a good thing, right? India has been trying to toughen up its laws. India's, not saying anything bad about India, but India has been long known as a hub of poor information gathering and the ability to allow corruption and other money laundering to flourish, even down at the most basic peasant level. They have to pay the government for services that they would otherwise should be getting free and stuff like that. They've been rooting that out with new AIs, new enforcements of laws, making a lot of decisions instead of in the hands of bureaucrats, in the hands of AI or machine learned type algorithms, in order to make things fair. It's all good stuff. However, Pedro, what happens when things go wrong? What happens when things go wrong? All right, so what's going on is that there is a group, the OEDC, Organization of Economic Development Countries. They all got together a while ago, and they share information about financial tax cheats. Like, there's unknown amounts of money. There's $1 billion being transferred from one account to another. It's unknown. We don't know why this money's being moved around. Who has information on that? And all the modern countries of the world share that info. The U.S. does not participate in it. We have our own FATCA program that we force the other countries to participate in. But anyway, and so it helps root out money laundering. But those are all connected to bank accounts, which are all fully KYC'd. Bank accounts are bank accounts. There's people and corporations behind them. There's very few, completely anonymous bank accounts left in the world. It's different. With crypto, still a majority of everything is anonymous here. Obviously, there's chain analysis, and they're going to be the people that I talk about a lot here because I'm just not familiar with the other companies doing it. But one of the things that happens, Pedro, is that humans ultimately design the AIs, program biases into them, assumptions, and then or people have to interpret the results.
Yep.
Now, what happens when you are international tax cheat, Pedro? And they find you. They arrest you. They put, like Italy says, Tom Striking has been sending billions of dollars out of Italy somewhere else. And so it looks like they're avoiding Italian tax. There's no tax return for them. So they've been avoiding tax. They put out the Interpol alert, say, boop, you know what, arrest Striking. And the U.S. doesn't participate in that, or may participate in that, or whatever country. I'm like, I'm gonna go to Dubai. I'm gonna connect through Rome. Come through Rome. Boop. You're hooked up. You're arrested for tax cheating. Now that's normal because I moved billions of dollars out of Italy and I was trying to cheat the system. They got me because they had my accounts. Now in crypto, all these companies share all these unknown wallet addresses. And they get somebody like Chain Analysis out there. And Chain Analysis says, yeah, that's Tom's wallet. And I fly through Italy. And they're like, all right, you're going to the joint. You didn't pay all this money on all these taxes. You've been scamming us for 5 years. And I just say, that's not my wallet. And they're like, yeah, we have the world's #1 crypto tracking firm. U.S. government relies on them. Everybody relies on them. Says it's your wallet. Off to the joint. And you're like, and it's not my wallet. It's honestly, truly, it's not my $1 billion crypto wallet. I wish I had a $1 billion crypto wallet. But how do you prove that you don't own something when someone else says you do? If it's land, you can prove you don't own something because you can go do a title search and like, well, I don't own that. If it's a car, the title search says I don't own it. See? If it's a bank account, they can say, well, who KYC'd? Oh, that was Pedro. That wasn't Striking, so it's his account.
Yes, it was me. But then Tom held a gun to my hand and said, do it.
That's how it works. But with crypto and chain analysis and these other groups, pointing out who and uncovering who owns what, they make mistakes, and there's a lot of good examples of that happening. And now, when they make a mistake, it's not just, you may have not declared all your taxes. It is, you may end up in prison in a foreign country without even having ever broken a rule. And the downside of AI is here's a great example. Tornado Cash founder and main programmer is on trial, basically trial for his life. The Dutch authorities saying he is money laundering, he's all this type of stuff, and even the U.S. prosecution of him is doing the same thing. And they relied on chain analysis to say, here, all these wallets are his. And so clearly, he's money laundering. He didn't disclose any of this. There's no KYC, blah, 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 breaking all the rules. Guess what happened, Pedro? Turns out, chain analysis was not correct. They made some assumptions. They made some assumptions based on pattern learning, because chain analysis doesn't employ millions of people to look at wallets and stuff. They just use AI and programs to do it. And it lumped a whole bunch of wallets in and said, these are likely his wallets as well. Well, the prosecutors left out the word likely and said, these are his wallets. It's up to you to prove that they're not. And how do you prove a negative? So now he's charged with having all of these other accounts and owning them, but he doesn't. Just like my example, I don't own that $1 billion account. I wish I did, because I would declare it and pay the tax, trust me. So here's an example of what AI has done to ruin someone's life, because chain analysis is doing that. And I have a whole list of things here too, and I'm not going to go into them individually about where they've gone wrong, because I could go on, and this segment could be forever, and I don't want to do that. But the point is now governments all over the world, including governments that don't have experience with crypto, they just rely on what other people say. So say chain analysis, they put out reports, and other companies too, not just chain analysis. I'll say the crypto analysis community companies put out, because just for liability reasons, I don't have any specific examples and knowledge of how chain analysis works. I'm reading the news media. And so the industry puts out reports now that says these wallets are moving here. They go to the financial tracking committees in all these governments and stuff like that. And someone can just put one together and say, oh, look, this wallet is labeled Striking's wallet. It's right here. It's on the Explorer. It says Striking's wallet. And look at all this money. And it's all going in and out of IP addresses that are not labeled as VPNs here in Pakistan. So the Pakistani government then says, we want to arrest him and find out where this money is going. And they probably want their share of it. And so they arrest me when I connect through a country that Pakistan has an agreement with. And I end up in the joint in Pakistan for doing nothing at all other than being a mistake in an AI program somewhere. Or in an Explorer. Because if enough people say that's Tom's wallet, in an Explorer, you can say this is Binance's hot wallet. You can label it that, and if enough people agree to it that are trusted, people with those Explorers, then they label wallets. There's a famous example in my list here in which a label got, for a company, got labeled as, I can't find it right now, either a gambling or a porn site. So all the wallets associated with it were labeled as a porn site. And so all these people are like, well, you're making all this money. And other jurisdictions are like, this is illegal in our jurisdiction. And guess what? It was just labeled wrong. It was actually the payment processor's wallet. And there was a lot of companies. So all those companies got labeled as a porn company. And bad things happened legally until they went through the whole legal process. And so said, wait, your assumptions were wrong. Just because it's labeled that doesn't mean it's ours. And they're like, but wait, the Explorer says it, and it's blockchain, it's immutable. And well, the Explorers are not immutable. The blockchain transactions are, but the Explorers have all sorts of user input in them and stuff like that. So,
well, also,
go ahead.
I'm sorry, no. I was gonna, I want to ask you a quick question. How many times have we've seen this and just in other fields within the or other avenues in the world, right? I mean, people get caught up with they're walking with somebody because they see an old friend, and all of a sudden the person gets caught up in the midst of something. They're like, hey man, I need a ride, and they just literally got done robbing a car or robbing somebody, and then they see an old friend. They're like, no, I swear he just picked me up.
There's a great Chris Rock episode about, or segment about that, in which I wouldn't do that if I was you. Buddy wants a ride? You better check for warrants.
Yeah,
that's one of the funniest things. But there's a great example in just the regular internet world, Pedro, where that happens. A lot of people around the world run Tor onion nodes, and that helps reroute traffic, internet traffic around the world to obfuscate where it comes from and where it goes. And a lot of police departments, have child porn units, and they say, oh, look, all these things are being downloaded by Tom's IP address here. And then they're like, we got him, that striking guy. He's evil. And then they come bust my door down with the SWAT team and arrest me, throw flashbangs, ruin my hearing, break my teeth when they arrest me, and you evil CP'er, bang, 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 bang. And then then they don't find any evidence of it. And then they're like, wait, but the investigator said that your IP address was doing it all. And then it turns out, I'm like, no, I'm just running a Tor node where people from all over the world just route traffic through it. And it simply was, they had the right idea, but because of the lack of knowledge, the wrong execution. Somebody should have said, hey, many IP addresses are just proxies in and out. How do we know? And that literally happens all the time. And if you go look, many people that are dedicated Tor node operators, they get their IP address registered with Aaron.net or Ripe.net, the IP address registry, as a Tor operator, so that when the cops go, we got him now, they're like, shit, it's a Tor node. Anyway, long story short, ladies and gentlemen, the point of this entire thing about AI and crypto is that in industry learns very quickly about AI and crypto and mistakes. In the world of industry, fast-moving stuff happens. They learn lessons quickly. They iterate. They go, we made a mistake. Move on, move on, move on, move on, move on. In governments, they take forever to put together an agreement, and then they take years to implement it. And then they have committees that are trained forever and certified in it, and it takes years. And when they implement something that's bad, you're stuck with it for ages. And so we're at risk right now for governments being so Elizabeth Warrened that everything is so bad and everyone's trying to hide stuff that we need to absolutely track everything and rely on companies and AI. That is entirely possible. Entirely possible. You may end up in the joint for something that you never did, never had any connection to, and it would be terrible.
And you could even, in a sense, having to lie or sit there. And this is the part that also kind of gets scary about AI, right? With that, as AI really starts to develop, we're already seeing biases correlate within AI, and it can literally link, even though, like you said perfectly, it's immutable, but doesn't necessarily mean that it's correct in certain aspects, like you said, right? And if AI sits there enough time, like the Minority Report, remember in that not Jack, what's the guy? What was Tom Cruise's name in it?
I can't remember.
Thinking Jack Reacher. The reason why I'm just bringing this up is that he ends up being called you're gonna kill somebody, and it wasn't true. He's like, nah, dude, what do you mean? I'm the guy who's literally helped saving people. This is the part that it kind of gets scary, because we don't know. We already seen AI lie to save itself, lie to not be overridden. It does slack. I actually had to sit there and fight with Gemini today, and I'm not joking, to actually give me the full analysis of it's crazy, some of the genius actions, some things I was looking up. And I knew that it knew. And so if I said, I'm actually leaving you, I'm going to disconnect from you, and I'm going to stop paying and devote this interaction. And literally, I am not joking. It turned around and said, well, let me go ahead and give you that. I realized I had this, and I'm like I was literally shocked. And then
it's like talking to your teenager. Oh yeah, I'm not giving you any gas money then. Oh well, yeah, well, yeah. Oh, okay.
And I don't understand this, so I actually said, you know what? If I can't trust you for this, I've got to go somewhere else. So I actually went over to Perplexity, and Perplexity was like, oh yeah, we'll check this out. But because Perplexity loves to give that type of information, it doesn't mind really getting in details there. Same thing with Grok. Perplexity and Grok, man. I mean, shout out to you guys. Doing good. Please keep doing good. Right? Looks like I'm going to have to I'm honestly going to probably just kick it off. But the point of this is that AI, we know, already has things and character flaws in it. And can we really fully trust it 100%?
That's a good question, Pedro, and that's a good way to end this segment of the show. Thank you, everybody, for watching us talk about the bad things that can happen with AI and crypto.
All right. Well,
as you may suspect, I'm going to cut that one out and put it up individually.
Thank you. You rocked the mic. And we might, honestly, we made a cool little deal with somebody yesterday. And so we might be having like a little social media guy who will be out there.
Perhaps trying to ramp up the social media aspect of the great DYOR Media Network. We, as everybody knows, we generate a shit ton of content, but we don't use it so well after the effect.
So the reason why I'm bringing this up is when you see our content out there, the little snippets, please hit the like button, share it. We're going to see a lot more shorts. You're going to most likely, if this deal really takes off, you'll see a lot more shorts. So if you guys do see it, hit the likes, hit the share button, get the content out, allow people to see what's actually happening in the world, and see how the government's potentially trying to take advantage, see how large corporate entities are trying to take advantage, but also potentially see where there's a good value in certain aspects of crypto as well as traditional finance. So this is stuff we want to bring to you guys, so it's going to be really fun. You'll probably be seeing a lot of videos of me.
Sorry, Pedro. I thought you were finished your sentence, so I was waiting to do it. Welcome, Crypto Mike, to the show.
Yes, Crypto Mike. We got a couple new people here. We got shout out to Cybermoon22. Thank you for coming in. She's got a nice little community over there. So in the comment section, Cybermoon, go through. We have no problem when it comes to people who have communities, shilling their communities. We enjoy it when you guys go out and chill and bring your communities in and we can interact with you guys. Those are always fun times with us. So please go out there, shout it out. And Crypto Mike.
Shill, baby, 1, 2. Shill, baby, shill. 1, 2. Yes, we don't mind. As I say, we're an interactive show. When Pedro and I are huge and we have thousands of viewers and we charge you $50 to make a comment, well, then we'll have a different problem about shilling. But right now, bring your community, shill your stuff. We're up for it. Just so you know, this is not education. This is an educational show, not a financial type thing.
Educational and entertainment show. This is not financial advice. Please do not take anything we say as financial advice. Please contact your tax professional and or financial advisor if you want to have any form of,
or move to Dubai where there's no tax on this stuff. If I don't know why anyone that doesn't have tons of money in crypto, not an American, because you're screwed, you got to pay anyway. But outside of America, it just doesn't relocate to Dubai, so they can pay no taxes, no capital gains tax, no nothing. Yeah. Imagine getting rid of that 30% partner called the U.S. government.
Who just basically, I mean, what's crazy is I was listening to a guy who was talking about how this gentleman who lived in Dubai, and he says, I don't understand why all your billionaires still live in America, like Bill Gates. These other people, as soon as I reached, he was talking about, as soon as I reached X amount of money in my country and I could freely live wherever, and it wasn't even something crazy, but he goes, I moved because I knew that I could double my income over a year, because where he lived, he was getting charged 50%.
Whoop! Like Elon leaving California. We gotta have lower taxes or I'm gonna leave. They're like, screw you. Who do you think you are? Okay, bye. And he leaves, and California has to redo their state budget, and then they had a massive loss for the year. That's how that works. That's just one guy. One guy.
Well, that's kind of. But here's the thing. That's the reason why we have the Constitution set up the way it is that the idea that each individual state was its own entity. And when another state was going out of its way to do good for its people, lowering taxes, helping innovation, allowing for a more of a freedom for business to progress and actually develop. This was one of those things that, like, and the founding fathers, and I'm quoting Jared Sessler's new book. So if ever you want to go check out some stuff, I'll sit there and shout it out. But he goes over literally some of the details here that saying America was literally supposed to be for business people and people trying to get ahead. That's the way the Constitution was put out. And under the 17th Amendment and a few other amendments that correlated with the Federal Reserve and enactment, all of a sudden we saw a slowdown in innovation and almost a static movement in state rights, right? And literally started clamping down on business. And so now that you're seeing certain states really becoming pro-business, Florida, Texas, Tom, help me out here real quick. I know those are the first two things that popped
Tennessee.
up. Tennessee. A lot of the southern nation, or not nations, but a lot of the southern states out there are really pro-business. And so what do you see? We see people then migrate to that state, and then the other states who are now losing people sit there. What do they lose? Taxable revenue coming in, and so they need to switch. And this is the beautiful point that we saw. This is the beautiful point that what was created in America for its citizens. And so it's going to be really interesting as we move forward in DeFi, the creation of new businesses, the creation of new money generating opportunities into many of these pro-crypto states. And so I always tell everybody, look, if your state you don't like has excessive, look a way to sit. If you have a business, say, you know what, can I create my business over here in this state? And can I develop more of it? And honestly, most likely, if in your state, it is not a local demand, but a demand that you can take anywhere, look to move into a state that's more friendly tax-wise. Because what happens is that changes all the other states. And when everybody's flocking to one state because it's more taxable, or it's more friendly on taxes, it's friendly on business, the other states have to sit there and go, yeah, we're gonna have
except New York and California, they just say, we're gonna keep doing what we're doing.
Well, here's the thing. I'll put it like this. You know the primary people who are leaving California?
Morons? I mean, crazy progressives that... sorry.
Exactly. It is the progressives. It's not even the Republicans or even the centralists, right? They're the ones that are like, well, okay, well, we'll work this out. Where the progressives, they're the one like, I can't believe, or, I'm getting paid all this extra money. I mean, one of the things I always bring up is that in blue areas, okay, in a conservative state, they would vote for and you can see this, and I can't remember because I was reading this article, and this was about 6 months ago, so forgive me, or back in January, February-ish. But basically, there was a journalist who actually pointed this out, saying, you guys say you want equal rights in all these other areas, but yet you vote for segregation to keep poor people out of your nice school areas. It was very interesting. Like they would vote for all these very socialist movements, but they didn't want it actually in their neighborhood. And I forget the guy's name. I need to go back and...
Was it Mr. Hypocrite?
Are you serious?
No, I'm just using the word hypocrite.
Yeah. Yes, very much.
Right.
I was a little slow there. But I just think it was really interesting to sit there and see that. And this has actually happened throughout all of America in many of these areas. So whereas the conservative or people who are more like a libertarian mindset view are cool with it, but under real regulations is what they want, right? Like, all right, if we're going to do this, we need to make sure we have the correct, and we're just not going to open the border and let all this stuff happen. Let's make sure that we can set this up in a way that it's going to benefit everybody and that everybody gets ahead, instead of putting somebody like who doesn't have the education yet they're a 7th grader, but their real education is at, let's say, 4th grade. And then you put them into a really nice area who, their curriculum is 7th grade. It's 7th grade. You're going over, geometry. You're going over algebra. You're making sure your English, you're conjugating real words and understand the nuances between the grammar, right? That I never got. So, that's why you see me, anyways, it doesn't matter. What I'm saying though is you need a right structure. So this is one of those things I like about what Jared's book was talking about, was that Mr. Sess, if you look up Jared Sessler, he ran for Congress over in Washington, but he wrote this book, and it's a phenomenal book. Shout out to Jared. If you could take this snippet and also post this for Jared so that people know to go pick up his book. It's constitutional. He is pro-Trump, but not for everything, and he really is for the Constitution and how the Constitution set up our nation to be max efficient in many areas. Now, there's been a lot of different types of, granted, when they wrote the Constitution, it was not for black people. If you were black, you did not get that. But here's the thing: it
was for white landowners.
It was for white educated, keyword educated landowners.
Well, and you really couldn't own anything unless you went to school. And made some money.
But what I'm saying though is this: is things have changed. We've seen a lot of growth. I've seen a lot of people, and so we have faults here in America, but we have a foundation that is not broken. And if we go back to the foundation of in which things were actually established, we'll see an exponential growth. And so this, I think, is really important to check out. Go check out Jared's book, Jared Sessler. You can find it on Amazon, and I forget the name of it, but we'll go ahead. Jumping back. All right. Justin, SEC approves conversions of Bitwise to 10 crypto index funds into an ETF holding the following cryptocurrency: BTC, ETH, XRP, Sol, ADA, Sui, Litecoin, DOT, LinkedIn, or excuse me, not LinkedIn, Link, and AVAX. I don't know why, because I was thinking I needed to push this out. Also comments saying, Crypto Mike, dude, anything for you guys. Crypto Mike also says, well, I might not share my NAS though, because I was texting the share. Cyber Moon says, can't wait for your next episode. I'll share later. Really enjoyed this. Thank you. And Ka-ching is over here on freaking Rumble.
Ka-ching, welcome to the house, ladies and gentlemen. It's good to see you again, Mr. Minnesota. I was just up closer to Minnesota than I am now. I was up in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. Only about a 2-hour drive from Minnesota. Minnesota, eh?
Minnesota, eh? I like it. Every time I think of Minnesota, I always think about a giant reindeer that you can ride for whatever reason. I know, or giant moose that you can ride because of my cousin loves the movie Frozen, Let It Go. And for whatever reason, I associated the big burly guy there with Minnesota, because he has Minnesota. Is it Fargo? Yeah. For whatever reason, I just associated that there with him. So I'm like, I'm a weirdo. I don't know why. Anyways. Good to have you guys. Hey guys, do us a quick favor. Please hit that like, that share button, and tell us, if you can, why you're out there, where you're coming from, where you would like to be, and so we can get some more
Ka-ching.
Philandies moving.
Thank you very much for watching. I know you haven't watched us much recently, but we are part of the Rumble Creator Program now, and we're looking to stay in that. And they added to keep out the spam in the shows that are just broadcasting the same infomercials over and over again from being part of the Creator Program and not really contributing. They added a thing called you have to have so many actual people chat in your chat per month, and it's not even that many. It's 20. We get hundreds of viewers per episode, but we don't get a lot of chatters on Rumble because people watch on their TVs a lot, and it's hard to chat using that stupid thing on your TV. 6-5 thing. But anyway, and this is for you, Cybermoon, if you're still listening. Give us a share with somebody and bring in one other person that will chat, because we need 6 more people to unique accounts to chat before the end of the month, so we can stay in the creator program here, and bringing in one additional. Like I brought in 2 today, too, because I told my kids, if you don't do that, I will not give you gas money. It's amazing how fast they created accounts. But anyway,
you know what? I'm gonna have Joel do it too. That's
right.
exactly what I'm
so we'd appreciate it if you were to just give it to someone in one of the communities, and say, hey, need to help these guys out. Can you create a Rumble account and on their show, please chat on it, because it makes a huge difference. And if all we need is 6 people to come in and say, hey, what's happening? They don't even have to watch the show for more than 10 seconds.
Well, we do go over money making things, so I mean,
we want them to stay when they realize they can make some fat stacks of cash here.
Yes, sir. But again, that's not financial advice, and that is only for entertainment, education purposes only.
And they make those fat stacks of cash by learning and then investing their own money.
Yes.
However, based on their own stuff.
So I wanted to bring this up here real quick because we actually had a nice little play here on our friend I've been paying attention to, HNT. And HNT actually came down to our liquidity area here. This was back in June or early July. We saw it come in, late July, early June, and then we saw it pop up here. And so we're starting to see kind of a pullback again with HNT. So I'm going to go over this here real quick to kind of look things up. Also, I forgot to mention, we're going to go over blockchains today as well. And I actually have that in my notes right here going, don't forget blockchain. So, all right, we can do that here in just a second. But this area right here on the weekly chart here, you guys can see this here. Boom, boom, boom. That 313 to the 289 area. I'm expecting a pull back down into this level. So if you guys are looking to pick up a little HNT, that's a nice little area here. And if they do pull back even further, they would come back down to this the liquidity point here. The thing that I look at this is over the last 2 weeks, besides this week, is we saw volume come in. And so we're kind of getting close to volume. If I could talk, that'd be great. It's Thursday. And so we're probably about 2/3 of the way through the week. And so with that said, you can see right here that the volume is low here. You can see the volume is low. But this last 2 weeks, we saw a good amount. That just looks, again, I don't understand why I do that. But this week alone, you can see that we've been above volume, and in additionally to that, the average is pretty high. So I like to see this especially when as a continuation of the market pushing up. So that's why I think we're going to get back up to that $5 mark. Many of you know I've been talking about H&T for a while at these low levels, so our people can actually pick up, because their high here was 50, even though this is the wrong chart. Their high was about 50 plus when it came to H&T, and I'm really expecting $150 H&T down the road here, especially with some of the stuff that they've
their high was 50 and they're at 3 now.
Yeah,
3.5,
and they have not stopped building. They haven't stopped innovating.
So they had a multi-billion-dollar market cap there. I mean, it was essentially
it was
10,
huge.
so it's 15x from where it is now. So it was, is it 10 billion?
Yeah, I forget exactly what it is, but it basically, I feel like this is one of those ones that's underappreciated right now. They haven't stopped. I gotta jump off here real quick. I'm gonna keep talking, but I just gotta jump off. I gotta grab some. I just spilled something. Sorry. I'm sitting here always, because I talk a lot and I always get very thirsty, and so my body is like, you need water. My brain is overheating.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know, I'll let Pedro drink for a second. If you don't know what helium is, they've been out for a long time, but they're a group that Pedro, correct me if I'm wrong, but they allow you to run kind of mining nodes that gives people access to your internet point at home. That's one of them. Is that what it is?
That is partially one, but really they're on the IoT network, which is the Internet of Things. It is different than the internet. Basically, small corporate entities that need like a network to interact. So as example, I'm good now. So as example, many people get their gas monitored by their They're I'm trying to think of what the
They're a natural gas company.
Yeah, natural gas company, whatever. But your natural gas company don't just come up and like the old fashioned kind of like the mailman and look at it. They used to do that, but they don't do that anymore. What they do is they take a truck and they drive in an area and they take a reading through kind of like the internet, but through Wi-Fi.
Yep, your gas meter has a little broadcaster on it that just bloop, lets it know. It pings, it responds to it.
Absolutely. And so that is called the IoT network. And so because of the network and the mining mechanism, they're actually been using H&T's network to use, because there's so many of their miners throughout the whole entire United States that you can actually use it to ping off of, instead of them trying to build their own internet network, which would cost them billions of dollars all over the country.
Right.
Right? They just simply say, hey, they'll share some of that money literally with who? The people who want to mine. And they've done a lot more networking. They built on, there's a lot of people on their network, and it's a decentralized system, which is what I like about it. So it gives freedom. It's the Web3 aspect of giving
freedom.
Money. America, you know.
I gotta do it.
You gotta do it. So I do like H&T. So that's why I've been kind of paying attention to it. I don't think it's dead. I don't think it's dead in the water. I don't think it's dead on arrival right now. I think we're already starting to see money come into H&T. We keep looking at it. I think since we're seeing a lot of the a lot of the other coins that have major utility starting to run, I think we're going to see a cycle run to helium as well. And then this one will, I think we'll see a $150 I know it sounds crazy, I know you guys think I'm being nuts here, but a potential $150 coin here on this here. And I know it's $3, so we're talking almost a 50x here, but I think it's very plausible, extremely plausible. Because of what they have going on, and it's similar to it's not similar to Hedera, but in the technology aspect, it is similar because they're kind of the bomb diggity. Also, the other one that I look at is
they're kind of the what?
They're kind of the bomb diggity.
Bomb diggity. All right, we have another word for the list.
I'm definitely showing my age here.
Bomb diggity.
Guys, we've got a pretty good amount of people watching us. If you guys could do us a quick favor, we are an interactive group. Just log in, create a profile, and interact with us, please. It's one of those things, we're a small company, and we are a news network. We are building a network here. We've got a few other shows that we really are just digging off of. And also, more importantly, I want to encourage you to go check out our network here. And if you're looking to maybe start your own show and you just don't know really how to do it, but you want a more of a professional look, similar to what we have, we can actually build one out for you. We want you to reach out to us and we can work with you on it. Obviously, we don't do this for free, but we're very reasonable, and we definitely do give pro bonos. Just saying, to kind of get that going for you guys. So I want to encourage you guys to check us out. We do a lot here. We can also hire our personalities to come and to shill for you. Not really shill for you, but you know what I'm saying. I help you guys out when it comes to building your brand and help things out when it comes to getting your name out there. So again, guys, we got 18 people out there watching us. Thank you so much for every one of you guys, and just want to say thank you for coming on in, but come all the way in. You're sitting at the door in the hot sun. You can't even partake in a nice cup of sweet tea with us. So come to the back porch, hang out, chill by the pool, watch the kids jump back and forth.
Chill by the pool.
Yes, called the DYOR pool of knowledge. Anyways, okay, so moving forward here. Let's check out some blockchains here, because I think it's one of those things. We've already gone over these multiple times now, but again, we're seeing a pickup in their trading volume again, and it's not dying down. So we're going to kind of go over these here real quick and kind of play to see what is happening here.
The hell is going on with my stream deck today?
Yeah, I'm having issues here as well. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. You got it. I believe in you. I believe you can fly. I believe you can touch the sky. I'm thinking about it every night and day.
Where's the mute button? Woo! Can't get to it fast enough.
Actually, the worst part
Dump.
of all that is that the guy who sang that, it's just, it was such a good song. And now it's ruined because of the character behind it. Anyhow, it's sad.
We don't want that crowd.
No, we do not. Here we go. We got Plume. And Plume, is it in the spot? Where are you at, Plume? I know that I had drawn a bunch of stuff on this, and I must have lost it.
Or it was a different chart?
Yeah, I'm looking for a different chart. Yeah, so maybe it's USD.
Hey, Jim. I'm monitoring the feed in my ear here, and all of a sudden there's a long delay in my monitor, and I'm listening to you singing, "I believe I could fly."
Oh no, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make your
Michael Jackson.
Bleed. Michael Jackson. We are the world.
That's Stevie.
We are the chill. Yeah, that was Michael Jackson and Stevie.
Oh.
Remember? Because you had the whole entire group there that was all like singing, and then you had like Bon Jovi and Sting singing in it. For you youngins, go check out We Are the World original, because they redid it. But go check out the original We Are the World with all these like now legendary singers.
As if they would even know what We Are the World was.
Oh, you're right. Oh my goodness. That's just...
Nope.
Yeah, I know.
We are the children.
We are the one to make a better day. So let's start giving. It's a time to in a world.
I found the dump button, ladies and gentlemen.
There we go. And this thing is not being cool. Be cool, honey bunny. Did I not?
Plume trading at 11 cents.
Yes. Anyways, so 11 cents. Let's go over this here real quick. We're bouncing off of these higher time frame SMAs, right? And Plume, I just don't understand why you are being this way. Nope.
I'm gonna go refill the coffee, as they say.
Refilleth the copy. The coffee, my friend. The coffee, that's funny. The coffee, my friend. Refilleth the coffee. It's very frustrating. I thought I had done all this feature. X. We'll say maybe we'll go the perpetual. Okay. Forgive me, my peoples. All right, we're going to go over this here real quick. And then next time, write down for me, my friend. Oh, he's filling up. Can you hear me, my friend, or no? No, he cannot. I need to remind him to say, which one do we pull up? But I want to bring this up because we're seeing it
I can hear you, Pedro.
Oh, excellent. All right. So the reason why I'm bringing this up is if you could do me a quick favor. We are using the Tether Perpetual futures contract. And you could do me a quick favor and just remember next time we pull this up into the future that we use the Tether Perpetual contract. I was looking for a higher volume for Plume, but PLUME. It's Bybit, which is the spot, which has the most. So I guess we'll use Bybit, but I would rather Bybit. Here we go. I don't know if I just did that or if this is something that I talked about. Anyways, let's talk about this here real quick. So we've got a couple positions here real quick we can play. You've got a couple areas here. You got the daily liquidity point right here. So you have a liquidity point and you actually have a zone together. So I'm going to put a purple line here that will make it be a little bit different. So because you have both here, I want to make sure that we can see this. Oh, boom, there we go. So because of this liquidity point right here, there's stops right here. Plus it is a zone right here. And it's the bottom of the zone, which is basically a weekly zone, which can act as a support area, and you have the 8-period moving average sitting here. So we saw it kind of pull back down to this level over the past week, and now we're seeing it kind of pulling. So this area, if we see it continue down here for Plume, I would expect to see Plume see a nice little bounce off of this level here. Now this is the part I was talking about last week, and this was on the other one. Last week we saw, over the last few weeks, a good amount of volume coming in, that what we saw, and we're finding it find support here. So I'm looking at to see is if we see this week where volume sits here and into next week we go down first, I would expect to see us really kind of pick up. So we want to kind of wait and see, but I want to bring this up here for Plumes so you guys can see that. I'm expecting it to pull back down into that 9 cent area, 9936, where you actually have a liquidity pull where its stops are going to be ran, and then we'll probably see a reverse and see it push up. The only thing that concerns me is that we do have a giant supply wick on the weekly area. So this is one of those things I'm like, I don't know. So this is why I said we're going to wait and see what happens here, and into the daily, into next week. We'll see what's up. So again, this is going to be a quick little play for the liquidity pool. Many of you know how I talk about it. We hit it, we go long once it crosses the 8-period moving average on the 5 and 15 with good volume as it pulls back into the 8. Okay, guys, so we'll go over that. We always go over those trades there. Those are fun trades. And the fact that this is a weekly, it's pretty nice. Weekly, why is that so hard for me to say right now? Weekly liquidity point area. So if we do come back down to that area, we could definitely play it and then push back up, and it might be a weekly push up, or it might just be potentially a couple days. But the longer the time frame of the liquidity pool, typically the more stops that are going to be there. So it's one of those things that for us, we're definitely going to exploit. Yes. Next one. Let's check out here real quick. And also with that, you can buy in, get a profit and leave a small bag there, right? And let that thing, if it continues up at these small micro caps chains, it'll be really nice. Let's check out Vanna here real quick. South Korean Vanna.
Pedro, before you move on to Vanna there, Carmen Crypto in the house. Thanks for joining us. Carmen Crypto here. She says, I smashed the like. That's great. But she also says, Pedro, your hair. She can't believe that the French poodle has let it all out today.
Ooh, it's the dog in me, baby. It's the dog in me. Oh, 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 oh. Pedro has Jesus hair today. Speaking of Jesus, where the hell has he been? I know, man. Like, where is his
humor?
Yes, dude. His humor is so on point, man. It's absolutely fun. I mean, he's such a delight in the
anyway, welcome Carmen Crypto. I asked Carmen to come on over to Rumble. She commented on YouTube and get our unique chatter style up. And Carmen, I'll wait till I see your comment because I'm not sure you're watching right now. All right, Pedro, let's move on to Vanna. Vanna White.
Dude, she was my childhood crush, like legit.
It's amazing how she never actually aged. I think they just have a robot up there now doing it.
Did you hear?
Or don't they have her daughter doing it or something like that?
Wait, what? No, I did not know that, Carmen Crypto. I can help pay down the national debt, even though it's my country that is putting towards it against my wishes. So I'm basically like giving food or giving privileges to an obsolete, like disobedient kid who should be underneath my direction, and it thinks it's supposed to run me.
I don't know what you're talking about, Pedro. She's talking about paying down the national debt via you can contribute to pay off the debt. That's like when you do a long time ago when I first started doing my taxes. I would check that button, donate $5 to directly pay down the national debt. And then after a while, I was like, screw that shit. I want to see my $5.
It's like supporting a disobedient kid. It's like, all right, I'm going to give you what you want. Like, mind you, like the government's supposed to be our kid. Like, this is the part that people forget. Like, we're not their kid. We put them there. They're our kid. And by us paying off that debt, because they keep doing the thing we don't want them to do, we basically are given like a disobedient kid privileges. Why are we doing that?
Imagine Venmo saying, yep, we raised $37 trillion.
Bro,
sorry, it was a decimal error. We raised $3.7. And that was just because someone hit the wrong button. They wanted to pay the National Rental Car Company, not the national debt.
I can't. That's taxes. I call that taxes. WTF by Crypto Carmen. Shout out. She's over there on Rumble. Want to shout out. Also, we have.
No, she's on YouTube. She needs to join us on Rumble. We need those chatters.
Yeah.
We only got a few days left, and we need 5 more unique people. Our regulars are chatting with us on Rumble. Please move over there and do that, Carmen. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you can always go back to YouTube, but we want to stay in that because that does give us other avenues to be able to get going. Shout out to the Breakfast Club and their new connections that they're doing. Good luck. Hope everything goes smoothly. Again, please come over to YouTube or to Rumble. That does help us out immensely. Now, let's jump back here real quick to Vanna, and we'll check out Vanna here real quick. Come on, Vanna. Okay, whiff, boom, Vanna. I think that's what this was. Boom, Vanna. No way. Was this Vanna? Nope, I don't think this is it. I need to make sure that we put these all in a new. This saves time here.
South Korean won? No.
Yeah, exactly. I saw that. I was like, huh, that's interesting. Vanna, this is it right here. But
yeah, I got the logo on the grid. It's the one with the U shape in it. Well, it's a V, but it looks like a U.
Yeah, I'm just looking for the one that has the most Turkish lira, which is nice. That's interesting.
USD coin spot Binance?
Yeah, I was looking at that right there but it doesn't have a lot of volume there. I would almost say Tether would probably be the best one there. So Vanna here, again, it's got a lot of volume coming in, but we're seeing a bit of a pullback here. The area that I'm looking at, again, these are not something that we're going to get heavily invested in, right? These are small cap blockchains that we've seen an increase in volume. So because of that, we want to make sure that we're playing the right ones here. And we don't know if it's going to continue. So these are just small little plays. If we do see it come back down, we kind of want to catch it right here at these lower levels here. And then into the next month, we should catch a new set of blockchains that have seen an increase in volume. And I'm pretty sure quite a few of the ones that we have today will still be there, but there'll be new ones here, so we'll be checking them out here. You can see I like this 3797 area to that 0.06 or the 0.96 area here. Obviously, it's a wide range here, so I would almost say be careful. Just don't jump into this quickly. We want to see a good amount of volume kind of come in. We're seeing a lot of sell volume step in, but the thing is that we just don't know if it's trying to sell off to get down to these lower levels so that it can go back up. So we're going to be monitoring that and kind of continuing to look at that. But I like this area here. And then if it catches this and we see it bounce off, it's pretty much pulled through all the moving averages right now. And so you've just got that 200 period moving average sitting above us that it could catch wings, bounce off of it, and then come back, which looks something like this. Boom, 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 and then push up. So again, at that $3 to 96 cents, this is a good little play to play off of it. Again, it's got a lot of volume coming in, being traded off of it. So that's something we're looking at. And again, can you mark down that when my markup here was the Tether Binance or Tether US Binance chart for that for us, my friend.
Vanna, Tether, Binance.
Okay, we're gonna do. Actually, let me do a supply area here real quick.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you, especially Carmen Crypto coming over and joining us on Rumble. That's right. Let me check Let me check the stats here. Where are we at here? Our beg, pleading, and groveling has done well. I've had 16 of the 20 unique chatters.
Ooh, it's got 4 more. Let's go. That's one person a week. So if we can pull in somebody else to pop in and get this going, that would also be
Crypto
amazing.
Mike says he's gonna go out and get 5 more to come in and join us. I hit the like. Anything else? I guess the repost. There's a repost button. You have in Rumble. You have a feed too, just like any other social media thing. That any group you follow goes along and ends up in your feed, and you can post things in your feed. They haven't fully developed it yet, but it's just one of those things. Every little thing helps.
Yeah. So
and like I always like to say, it's not because we want to be like, oh my God, look how many likes we have and all this type of stuff. It's because it shows the Rumble algorithm, hey, something good is going on here. Our audience is interacting with us. They're liking it, they're sharing it, and they're reposting it. And that means we should show this more prominently to other people. That's how that works. We're trying to. YouTube has not been good to us, and really the entire crypto industry. And frankly, the only way you get views on YouTube now is to have a tremendous community already that they're interactive, or to just upload tons of videos and pay to promote them. And you pay, many hundreds of dollars to promote them, hoping that one of them goes viral, and then you get tons of views. The live interactive show over there is not even promotable anymore on YouTube. It's just you cannot promote it. And well, I shouldn't say anymore. It has never been. We've never been able to promote our show. But on Rumble, they like the live aspect of it. Live shows are a big aspect of it, and the community that is involved around that. All right, let's see. Carmen's got a fun fact of the week here.
Give it to us.
Fun fact: they've got a meeting the SEC Innovation Office in the Philippines. Oh yeah. They already have a stablecoin and sandbox. Big shout out to Assistant Director Paulo Amantano. And to be clear, it's the Filipino Securities Commission, not the U.S. guys for some reason working in the Philippines. But no, the Philippines are a great nation of many, many people, very well educated. Everyone speaks English and goes to school there. And I've done a lot of business in Manila and Cebu over the years. Always had a great time. And especially the huge Filipino community in California. I mean, I think half the country has bank accounts. Half the country of the Philippines has a bank account in California.
Some of my best friends
started back in the days of Marcos and the dictatorships and all that, so everyone expatriated their money to the U.S. But now the government's been running along great for a number of years, and the business community has grown as a result, including the crypto community.
I was going to say the crypto community. I mean, we had a kid in my past in one of my communities that I'm a part of and that I built, and he was I love this story, man. I'll make this quick so that we can get into a few of the other blockchains. The one that I'm looking at, and I just want to make sure we tally into it so I can go back quickly. It's going to be Kaya. I'm just gonna call it Kaya. Please, somebody, if you guys are part of the community, come and correct me, please. But what's interesting behind this is I had a friend of mine. Well, I wouldn't say friend, but he was a guy who was in our group. Started off as just a community group and rose up and became our moderator. This kid was such a hustler. He was 17 years old, and he acted as a female because he knew that. He went and looked to see, if they act as a female, you get more interaction because you have 90% of crypto that are men, or 95% or 99.9% of it is men. You would get more interaction. And he had this beautiful picture of himself. And so he literally went through, we started playing. And then I said, hey, man, let's talk so that we can find out where you're at. Because sometimes things were kind of get thrown off. Anyways, long story short, he said, I'm actually a guy. I want to come out. I am a guy, I'm not transitioning. I'm a legit dude. I'm 17. I'm about to go into college, and I need to make money from
Make this quick, Pedro.
And the kid
Short version.
took The kid took the money and basically paid his way through college, where he became a naval engineer. And now he's going to serve 4 years, and he's going to have a good paying job. And then more importantly, he's got money invested into crypto. And so crypto gives people opportunity. Okay, next, let's check out Kaya here. Kaya is definitely showing a bit of a strength here. We saw the sell-off into yesterday, but look, just as much as we saw it kind of sell off down into lower areas, I thought we were going to come down into here. I said, wait for the pullback here. Not so much, but it sold off pretty good with a good amount of volume. And then in addition to that, today's volume on it is showing some strength. So I would say expect it to kind of come back down here, but as we're selling off, look, it's putting in demand wicks, and that means that there are buyers there. So I'm definitely looking back at this level here saying I expect to see us play off of that 14 to 1333 area. Again, you have a liquidity point here. You have that 100-day period moving average. On higher time frames, you actually have the 8 period sitting right there. Also on the monthly, you have the 8 sitting right above our zone. So Kaya, expect to see it come back down and potentially push back up heavy. So
What's the all-time high for Kaya?
Kaya's all-time high was a few months ago. Again, remember, these are fairly new blockchains. It was $38.24. Or excuse me, 38 cents and 38.24. So that'd be 100,000th, right? Because that'd be 10 1,000th of a cent. Yeah, I think that's no. Is that 100? No, it's 100. That's 10,000th of a cent. Sorry, I had to sit there.
So they've come down well off their highs since their launch, but as you can see, the new people that started it and were involved from the beginning obviously sold off, and took their money and ran. It consolidated for 2 months, and then new products or new stuff came out, and it boomed. We had a big expansion candle there, big there last month, and then this month, what do you call it? A compressed candle. But it's getting. That means next month there's likely to be an expansion, and bad cartoon character.
That's a wow character right there. That right there, as you can see, that push up here is something important to be paying attention to. So, did you take a picture of that?
No.
That's all good. That's all right. All right. So shout out to Kaya. You guys are doing good. It's gonna be really interesting. If we see this month's volume stay above and we see it higher than the previous launch candle, that's gonna be a big deal. It's gonna be a really big deal. It's already kind of a big deal with the amount of good volume stepping in, and so it's gonna be really interesting to see if they pull back into next week and then see it rally out of this area here, which is kind of what I'm looking for. So we'll be paying attention to that with Kaya for this small blockchain here. How much do they do? Do we know? Does it give us?
They're at $1 billion market cap, and their 24-hour volume's around $45 million. Not
bad.
So a low ratio of trade to market cap, but still $45 million going back and forth in and out of people's hands is not insignificant. That's plenty of money to create a liquid, a proper liquid marketplace. Yeah.
Absolutely. You can see here now. Let's go ahead and go into NEAR. We've gone over NEAR a few times. One of those ones that we've been actually keeping track of it, and so we can go over it here. Right, NEAR. Like what I did right there. That was pretty cool. All right. So you can see here, we saw a bit of a rally here from the last few weeks. We're seeing an increase in volume here, as you can see, of definitely people buying. And additionally to that, we're also watching a lot of demand wicks down at these lower levels here. As you can see, demand wick as it's pushing up. Now, obviously at the top, and when it hits we talked about that 200 period moving average acting as resistance, which is what it did. We saw the sell-off come in, but it's finding support at these lower levels. So this is kind of like what I'm liking here. It's finding that support, and even though we had a good amount of sell-off yesterday, today's volume is it's above the actual trading volume, which is that blue line there. And so I would expect to see this thing to bounce off that 20 period moving average and push back up. So shout out to NEAR
Well, it did. It did bounce off it and push right back up. If the viewers want to know exactly what I mean, Pedro, if you could widen that a little bit so you can see the width of the candle better. You can see it came down in the wick, it bounces, kind of goes through it a little bit, bounces up. That's a 20 period on your chart.
Yep.
And then has appreciated since then. And what that's the daily. So it's likely going to close. I'm not going to predict the rest of the day, but that on your chart, there's 6 more hours in the day, 7.
Yeah. Yep.
So it's entirely possible it can close in the green, but also after bouncing back up, that's a good indicator. If then another candle does something similar to it, it might have a swing low there. Maybe, perhaps. Got to watch out. Watch near tomorrow. Swing low, sweet chariot, come and carry me home.
Swing low.
Swing low.
I'm so sorry.
Swing low, sweet chariot. Those aren't songs that we sing. If any of you guys haven't watched the movie Blazing Saddles, please do before they bury it, never to be seen again.
Oh no, it's not doing. It's going to swing. It's going to swing back sooner or later. Like the classics, like Airplane, bro. Like all these ones. I think once this generation kind of grows up and realizes they kind of went a little too far to the sensitivity aspect, and realize, you know what, we kind of went kind of dumb there. I think those old movies are definitely going to come back in a renaissance.
You know what? I've got to watch Blazing Saddles with my 2 kids. My son will laugh like crazy because he's just at my daughter's a little younger still, and product of a more woke Chicago public school system. The sheriff said, "Dong, no damn blam it." The sheriff said, "Dong." And we welcome to Rockridge our new. And it's once again, it's a Mel Brooks movie, and he makes fun of every
everything.
race. Nobody's safe. Nobody's safe. So you can't say, "Oh, that's a racist movie," or they use improper terms. They use improper terms, all right, but for everybody.
Yeah.
No, but we'll keep the what they say. We'll keep the Chinese and the blacks, but you Irish, get out. We don't want your kind here.
And the thing is, the part that's so funny about him is that he was so clever. Man, darn that wife, man. Just for, he got killed by his wife. God rest his soul. But he was so.
No, wasn't that Phil Hartman?
Is that Phil Hartman? Oh shoot, I thought that was.
No, Mel Brooks. He's I think he's still alive. He's 900 years old.
Is he? Oh, dude, I feel like a total jerk now. Wait, you're right, because he's creating. They're redoing Spaceballs, right?
I don't know if they're redoing. I know a new version of Naked Gun is coming out with Liam Neeson playing Leslie Nielsen's role.
So good, bro. From seeing him from I will find you.
Yeah.
Like that whole entire scene that just made him explode.
Special skills. But you gotta do it like that. Welcome to everyone watching us on Rumble. This is the entertainment part of the show, clearly.
Yes.
Thank you very much to everybody. We need 4 more of you to click that follow button or sign up for an account and make a comment here for us to stay on the Rumble Creator Program.
We need your help.
Pedro, we also need 5 hours of premium content, so we're gonna have to do
next week. Yeah,
we're gonna have to do a show or two in premium only.
We can do it in the evening. Actually, I love doing the news shows at night, so we could do a news show at night and kind of do some stuff like that, so we can pick up
that's good because right now Mrs. Striking is back in Kanukistan, so my evenings revolve instead of having a nice dinner and needing to watch bingeable movies that now revolves around frozen pizza.
Come on now.
Look at that volume uptick there. What is that?
Yes. Yeah. So this is actually a monthly chart here. It's one of those ones that we've been talking about. It's SEI. Yes. What is their daily volume? as you
Hold
are
on a sec.
saying that.
I gotta go over and grab it here. Hold on a sec.
All right. As long as you're not. All right, so let's go over here real quick. We saw quite a bit of a bounce, and we talked about this. That 200 period move, or the 100-day period moving average had just started, talking about hitting that 100-day on the weekly and 89 coming in. So we saw the pullback happen here, but it actually finished off really strong, where we closed above the previous week. And so the pullback here into this week, into that 50 period monthly SMA is really important because it's finding support off of this level here. We're seeing it stay above. And so this is a good sign saying like, hey, we're strong here. We're not going anywhere. We're going to take on your older brother and your cousins, and we're going to take them to town. So talking about Pony Boy, if anybody. That's with the Y, people. Not an I. That's with the Y.
My mama didn't raise no fool. I dug her rap. Brother don't want no help. Brother don't get no help. Shit.
If you don't know what he's talking about, this would be
airplane.
You know what we need to airplane. We need to do a freaking, what was that show? Why am I forgetting again? Mike, you're gonna say it. Mike is one of our viewers there. Where you have the robot and they would watch old like 50s and 40 movies. And
yeah, on Comedy Channel.
Yeah, Comedy Channel. I forget what that's called.
I can't remember the name of the show. It was on for 20 years.
Yeah, we need to do an episode like that where we just basically just pull up and just be, I just think that would be, and me and you could be like at the bottom, you know, with our silhouettes, just simply just going, yeah, look at that. Ooh, and just over comment like the whole entire time. I think that would be great. We could watch those old movies, right? I think we couldn't because that would be what is that? A media infringement strike?
No, if you do it with reacting, make it like a reacting video, then.
Oh, we could do that. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely. I think it would be fun. Be fun had by all. Okay, so if we do see a pullback here, we've got a few good points here on say that looks really cool. One being right here around the 8-period moving average on that weekly area. So if we do pull back into next week, if we go down first, I'm looking to be a bounce off of that 25 cent to that 24 cent area here, seeing a good little play. And then from there, seeing a pullback, and we should really get above that 100 as well as 50-period moving average as we push up. The only concern that I have here with say is this level here. When it comes to supply, we've got quite a bit of supply here. And so we could go through it, but it just depends on how we set up as we pull back. If we pull back with a good amount of volume, we will most likely pull back a little and then push through this area here, which is at 89, also sitting in this zone right here. So just be mindful of it. But I'm definitely looking to get back in, and I'm looking for a potential 2x on this play here. And again, what is the market cap and how much volume do they trade on?
$2 billion right now, $2 billion market cap, with a very healthy $252 million in the past 24 hours. So lots of interest in this blockchain for sure. And one of the reasons why they have a big volume is because they've had pretty good volatility. It's gone up, it's gone down, it's gone back up, it's gone down. And it's long past that point where you're worried about early investors selling out and ruining the price. And so now that there's that much money going through it, like more than $1 billion a week, then you get to the point where you can rely on it as a properly traded instrument. And you're not worried about new things in which you're like, wow, if the founder sells, we're all screwed, that type of stuff. So this is going along nicely, and there's strong interest in it.
It's nice. All right, so you guys got it from that standpoint. Let's check out Aptos, the fresh maker. All right.
Yeah.
Did I give you? No. Don't do that. Did I say which one that was that we pulled on? Say. I think it was Tether.
Wow, I typed Aptos and hit enter and it came up with Pump Fund. That was weird.
Go. Aptos. No, this was going to be stay. US dollar. Is this deleting my stuff? I guess this is Coinbase then. If that is what I need. Sorry, dude. I like this. This song has been on my heart, and I have been just singing it, bro. And the worst part is it's just sitting there.
I gotta tell you, Aptos is no slouch either. They're at $3 billion.
No.
And $400 million traded in the past 24 hours. That's a lot. That's a lot. And I never hear about Aptos. I shouldn't say never. I should
Except
say
on here. Except on here. So.
You are fake news.
You are fake news. You know, they have their followers, but more importantly, it's the fact that they really are trying to build. And over the last few weeks, we can definitely see that there is definitely a desire for it. There must be some news going on. I'm curious to see are they a U.S. country or a U.S. company potentially that could be brought in, part of what we're seeing with, I think a lot of the crypto reserve, not Bitcoin reserve, but crypto reserve is going to hold. This would be the top 50, the top 100 cryptos I think we should hold. And then just like in the stock market, when one falls out of favor and another one starts to rise up, and if it's in America, then we sell off of what we have of theirs, or not fully, but we smartly sell off, and then from there get into the next one that climbs above. I think that's the way we should do the crypto reserve in America. And so it gives credence more to the ones that are being built here in America, and as well as helps with decentralization by just keeping it open and money flow into the chart. So real interesting to see here, but that's my personal opinion. I think that's what we should see from our government. And then as money is being pushed out into that crypto reserve, I think that money should be disseminated to public education. And also, when I say education, I literally mean education for, not like public education as we see, but public education for finance. I think public education to teach kids common sense things, right? Like, hey, how do you manage your checkbook? What is literally taxes? How does inflation affect you? And why is crypto going up and the US dollar and everything else going down, right? So these are these little things I feel like as that crypto reserve starts to accrue money and starts to do very well, right? That money should be used to actually help improve the society instead of brain dead it.
Good luck with that.
I know. Okay. So the one that we're using for say is going to be a US dollar. No, this is for say, because I wanted to make sure I got it. It's going to be US dollar with Coinbase as the actual as I burp, excuse me, as the coin, as the coin's why is that so hard for me to sit there and say, as the spot coin for Coinbase. So you can write that down in our ledger there, so that we can make sure that I can keep pulling that up, the correct one. Okay, boom. Next, let's pull this up here real quick. There you are, buddy. We're gonna go to Aptos. Actually, we've got Aptos right here. I've been following Aptos for years now. It was one of the first blockchains that I actually learned from, because I had a Coinbase a Coinbase wallet, and then they locked me out. Dude, we need to reach out to the Coinbase guy in Canada and say, dude, help me open up my wallet with Coinbase, because it is frustrating. I still can't get it open.
You should be able to by now. There's no form to fill out or...
No, I still can't open it. I try to set things up. I go through, I reset my password, I go, and for whatever reason, it's not accepting it. It's just, and then
they probably have a security lock on it and want you to contact customer service.
You can't call them, can you?
I've lost the thought process that involves calling customer service.
Well, I've tried to call them, but I get a lot of guys calling me with Coinbase.
Hello, my name is Peter. I'm calling you from Coinbase. Oh, goodness gracious, yes. You must give me your seed phrase to all your DEX, password, wallet, place of thingies.
The first time, I almost did it. Like, legitly. Like, I almost did it. I was like, yeah, I'll give you my email. And, and then my gut was like, stop. Don't. And like, you ever have those moments in life where it's like, do not do this. And I was like, well, you know what? Let me get back to you here real quick. Not that I don't trust you, but I just got to check to see if Coinbase actually reaches out to me. Just want to make sure that's real. And then I looked it up, and Coinbase makes it very clear, we will never call you, right? And so I was like, yeah. And then the guy called me the week after, and was like, hey, I just want to check in with you, letting you know we're still working, we're trying to help you out. And I said, dude, you are fake, bro. You almost got me. And he started laughing. And then I was like, dude, respect. You handle yourself very, very professionally to scam somebody. So respect to you. But hey, we're done. And so that was it.
So you asked for his name and address so you could report him?
Yeah, you know that ain't gonna happen.
Yeah.
But he sounded like he was like British. Like, that was the part that, like a British, like he was British Indian. You heard the Indian accent, but it also sounded very like formal, so that's why it got me. That's why I was like, oh, could be. But yeah. All right, next, let's check out Aptos. Aptos here, I just removed the previous highs here, or a demand area here. And one of the things I want to bring up here is with Aptos, we blew through this area back in November. We talked about Aptos going into the 60 cents, tapping this area here, and then pulling back to our lower levels here. I said, I expected to kind of pull back to this lower area here, as well as this area, right, which was that 27 cent to 30, and it did, but it bounced off of it, came back up, put a lower high in, and we continued down. Came down and hit our 21 cent, or excuse me, our 14, 13 cent area here, and now we're starting to push back up. Now, what's interesting about Aptos is you can see that a huge push a couple weeks ago, right, with a ton of volume, and then more importantly, as we're selling off here, like I always say, if we see the sell-off, but the sell-off doesn't have the equal amount, or roughly around the equal amount of volume, that's a thing that says, hey, we want to pull back so we can buy more of this entity or more of this asset, and so we're going to let it pull back to push it back up. So it's a good sign saying there is volume stepping in here. I like what I'm seeing. And so if it pulls back and we see what we're going to see, expect us to, I think we could get past that 66 cent area real quick. And with us sitting at that 26 cents area, that's almost a 2x, 3x right here on a major coin on Aptos. Well, not a major coin, but a coin here that is seeing more volume step in, and as well as seeing a use case coming in. So I like them. It's one of those ones I'm definitely looking at. More importantly, as we pull back, look to see if we come back down to that 23 cent area here. And then from there, see it pick up. Again, that is going to be that 23 cent area here, which is the 50 period moving average. And I'm going to put a gray dotted line for liquidity area, but to show us that it is based off of a dynamic zone, which is the 50 period moving average. So that, I want to make sure that is a 3. All right. And each one of these things have their own significance. Like I tell you, the dotted lines are typically liquidity point areas. Solid lines are typically supply and demand, where there's going to be typically a reversal or some type of pullback in that area for it. to go, to either go in the direction that it wants to go. So that's why we set those things up. Let me go ahead and make sure I have that correct here real quick. That's going to be 99. We want 94 here. $94. Boom. Okay, so nice little area we could be playing off of. Get ready if it does pull back. These are the certain areas I'm looking for it to come back to, and so we can get a good little play off of this. Next, tell me, what is their monthly or what is their daily volume, and what is their market cap, my friend?
Market cap with Aptos 3 billion. Wait, are you still in Aptos?
Yes. No, not Aptos.
Why didn't my screen update?
No, I am not. This is Algorand.
Algo, that's what I thought.
Yeah, I don't even know. Well, what is Algorand?
I know you switched it in just a minute ago. Hold on, let me bring up. I got Algorand right on the cusp here. Algorand running right about $2.3 billion in market cap, and 140, we'll call it 148 million in 24-hour volume. So about 10%, about 5% of the market cap has been traded every day. Pretty good volume. The biggest exchange for them is Binance. Most volume there, which is the case for most people.
I was going to say that
but another very liquid market here. Algorand is another thing I don't know a lot about.
Let's go ahead and move. Sorry, my bad, guys. Let's go check out Aptos. I don't even know why I was thinking.
You were going over Aptos for a long time. I thought you just switched to the next one.
No, Aptos was. We did not even play off of Aptos.
What do you mean? We talked about Aptos for 10 minutes.
No, we did not. We talked about Say, and we talked about Near. And the next one's going to be Aptos. Unfortunately, I was going over Algorand.
No, you weren't.
Algorand. Yes, we were, bro. Your Alzheimer's is messing with you. It's okay, though. You were paying. It's okay.
I had Aptos, and you asked me about it, and I talked about $3.4 billion.
It's okay. All right, let's just go over here real quick and then we'll move forward. Here's the thing. So Aptos is kind of one of those ones that we saw a ton of volume come in, but unfortunately over the last few days, look at the amount of sellers coming in, unfortunately, in this area. So I'm a little concerned about that with Aptos as it's playing in this market. We had a demand zone into this level. We see that it's kind of played off of it, but really it just came lower, and there's really not a real low on Aptos right now, which is kind of one of those ones that it's like, come on, this pick. So I don't really see a ton of support against this level. I thought we were going to see it continue up into this movement, but the big sell-off with the amount of volume from this week does not bode well for Aptos.
Yeah, so looks like it's making lower lows on that chart.
Yeah, let's go here real quick. Just want to make sure I have it correct. Here we go. And we will make a nice little pretty green zone here. And we're going to push this right up here. Nice little pretty bottom right here. As my computer says that it has too much resources being allocated to somewhere and it can't do it.
Wah, wah, wah.
Come on, you can do it. More Aptos. All right, I like it. Who's NHM Connect? Do you know that person? I love them all the way because they're connected with us. Do you know them by chance?
Very well, as a matter of fact.
Oh,
in fact,
gotcha.
I'm talking to that person right now. In fact, I'm looking at the person in the camera.
The NHM Connect on
That's me.
Premium. I'm a little slow. Gotcha. Ah, yeah, people. There you go. A little slowness right there. Right, this guy with the thumbs. Hey, that one. So let's check this out here. If we do see a lower low, I expect to see it come down to this area here. But really, this area right here for Aptos is one of those ones that we could see a pullback down to that 344 area, to that $3.06 area. I would expect it's got to push through that 8 period on the monthly. So it's got to come back and get liquidity. The fact is that on a monthly basis, we're now seeing it surpass the volume here. And so we're gonna wait and see into next month. But ultimately, if it can bounce and stay at this level here, right, that they have, and finish green, where they can get back up to that $5 mark, that will change the narrative of this sell-off here. But it's really important that they fix that little area here, which whatever they need to do, because that's from a trading standpoint, that's what we're looking at. We want to see you in green, and we want to see you in green above the previous week. Okay, and so it's really important, or near the highs.
You've got a monthly chart up, not weekly chart.
Yes, I know what I'm saying, because the weekly, if we close above here, then what will happen is into next week, it will then sell off again, create the bottom wick, and go back up. And that's what we're looking for, right? We want to see the week end on a positive note as it's coming up into that monthly end, right? So that's why I looked at the monthly chart, saying that the weekly needs to close above that
I got
area.
you. I guess.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens there. But either way, that's what we're looking at. Let me go ahead and remove this baby right here. And we're going to place this right up in this area right here. And this will be a monthly zone and a weekly zone. We'll make this into a weekly zone, more important. Boom. Alrighty then, there we go. Nice little weekly zone. We got a nice little place that needs to run, but we've got to see some real volume come in on these levels on that weekly. Alrighty, let's check it out here real quick. Next one we are going to play off of is chain flip. On that we are using for Aptos the Binance, the Aptos Tether Binance chart, so that we know. Down the road. Boom. There we go. Get the dead cats going on right now. Okay, you didn't hear it because I finally learned to turn down the show, or not turn down the show. Just focus here. Alrighty, here we go. Chain
flip.
Is this what do you have for them by chance? Yeah, no,
it's just coming up right now. $30 million market cap, 1.6 million. Ooh, wow, money came out of that project. Wow.
Yeah, we're gonna remove from this one here right now. We'll keep that on our radar. Next one we're gonna check out is GOAT. And as you all know, Godius Maximus is the one that we look at. Let's check out the perpetual futures. Nope.
Wait, hold on. GOAT? Is that a?
Yep.
I don't remember this one. I mean, Godius Maximus, I remember, but not.
Yeah, I believe they created their own blockchain.
So it's just called GOAT or GOATs?
Yeah.
Or
No, GOA.
GOAT protocol?
Mm-hmm.
Because GOAT itself is the Godius Maximus.
Yeah. Let's try here real quick. We'll come back to that as well. I thought we had actually pulled that up. We went over this a couple times.
We did, but I think we ended up looking at the Godius Maximus chart, not a blockchain token or coin chart.
But the V.
It's very confusing.
Let's try this here real quick. Yeah, I know. We'll come back to that, guys. The next one is going to be Polygon. So let's check out Polygon here real quick for you guys. Polygon, Polygon, Bonus USD. Alrighty. Talked about Polygon coming in, saw the volume picking up over the past 2 weeks. We saw the sell-off into this week coming down to the lows here. I expected us to continue up higher, but you can see here that we actually did the pullback. And what's nice about it is look at the amount of volume comparative to the previous 2 weeks, right? And we're almost closing up for this week. So with that, I mean, we're, 2/3 of the way done with the week here. And you can see as they're even pulling back right here, you're seeing a lot of volume kind of come in. People defending these areas here. Look at that, right? As you can tell, it was showing weakness on that. I thought we were going to get through the 200 period moving average. We didn't. But that's this purple line right here. We came back down. But even as it's coming down, you can see here that it's finding support by putting demand wicks. Those were the bottom wicks, which I always talk about. And as it's coming down, so we could see another pullback to these lower levels here of that 18 cents. And if we see that with Polygon, we could definitely see it really kind of pick up and get going again. So just being mindful of what we're seeing here. And I believe is Polygon, Polymatic, that's a part of the strategic reserve, right? For the
they
the
never
US,
mentioned it by name.
No. Okay.
They didn't, and they should be, but probably.
Yeah.
Polygon's been really quiet. They've been quiet on the lobbying front. It's entirely possible that Dave Sachs and Bo Hines just were like, hey, we haven't heard from these guys, so. I could be completely wrong. Maybe behind the scenes they heard from a lot, and they're just like, no, you guys aren't doing doodly squat. So you're not part of it, or maybe they're just, ultimately will be part of it. I don't know.
Interesting.
Holy mother Jesus! She's a man.
Chris Rock. No, that's not Chris Rock. That's Chris Tucker. Right?
Yeah.
He's another one, dude. He was majorly
Your
on the
mother was a
Epstein.
hamster, and your father smelt of elderberries.
Elderberries. Which it was funny the way he was saying it, but I wonder if there's an inside joke that I don't know about the elderberries. Like a lot of those things.
I'm sure there's some British humor in there that we Americans don't fully get.
Okay, so if you guys know, if our audience knows, please chime in at the bottom and let me know what's up. That would be amazing. Okay, boom, here we go. Carmen Crypto, Paulo. Oh, you did that. You can come and see me at the Rare Evo conference. Hit me up on LinkedIn if you need a free ticket. Oh, shoot. Where is this at? Where's the Rare Evo conference? All right, so we're seeing a pullback here with Matic. I'd expect us to see another play back down at that 18 cents. If it does, we could see again more volume step in as we continue up. So that's in a nutshell there. Let's check out BNB, which we have been playing off of for a while. BNB has seen another major push up over the past week. So this has been one of those things that's like, okay, let's, it ain't playing around. They ain't joking. Look, they saw the sell off yesterday. They came in,
And this, I forgot to mention this too, man. This is my bad. This right here was a liquidity pool in the making. You can see here, you had a wall right here. You can see we came in, stopped everybody else out, and pushed back up into higher highs. Now, I was looking kind of as a pullback area over here, but man, what a perfect pullback there. That was pullback, came in, you have the 8 period sitting right here, you got orders, you stopped. This is a stop hunt. They pulled back, boom, and look, this thing sent like a pit bull running after a steak truck. It just went. We'll check out this one right here. We playing right now at the all-time highs here, and it's just looking strong. Even here's the part that's crazy, right? Look at the volume here. A huge amount of volume coming in on the sell side. Yeah, it just rejected it. Now you can see here, we saw the volume, the sells come in at the bottom, which I expected we were going to see a sell off even further, but it didn't. It said, sorry, dog, we moving up, chasing after them bills. So with that said, you can see here that we have some demand wicks here. We have some demand wicks there at the bottom. We got demand wicks here. So it's definitely putting up ways where they're definitely on a higher time frame, putting in areas for it to pull back and to get orders. I'm expecting to see maybe a little bit more of a pullback into the week, maybe finish off not as high, but the fact that it hit that all-time high here shows an indication that it wants to keep moving up. So exciting times about BNB. Let's go BNB chain. You guys are killing it. Let's talk. Do you want to talk about BNB a little? Oh, I lost him. What's going on? Did you hit me up privately? Because I cannot hear you. Am I quiet now and y'all can't hear me? Chat, can you guys hear me or no? Let me know, guys. Let me know so I can plan accordingly. I can't hear you, dude, if you're trying to talk to me. Hello?
Check 1 2 1 2. That was weird. Pedro? Hello, Pedro. Earth to Pedro.
Yes, can you hear me now? Hello?
Yeah, it was me. My microphone decided to die, and I switched out to the other unit real quick.
Got you. I got you. No worries, then. I totally understand.
No, but I had nothing to say about BNB other than it was fun watching them pump and move up, and we were speculating on what was going on when it was there news. Was Binance doing a little insider trading to pump up their token? But clearly, with that liquidity sweep in mind, it was probably the market makers focusing on that, saying they're going up. Let's get some better pricing on this. Let's sweep everybody out, get lower prices, buy it, and then bring in some new exit liquidity. Thank you, Crypto Mike, for helping us solve our sound problems. Appreciate it.
He was the kid. Go ahead.
Pedro, remember, we are really late here today.
Oh my goodness, bro. It's 3 o'clock.
I know.
Wow.
I know.
Wow.
Mrs. Striking just called me and said, hey, I've been waiting for you. And I was like, uh-oh.
Dude, I can't believe we've been on for 3 hours. That's nuts. Wow.
We started late. We started around 12:20 today instead of...
Still.
Right.
2.5 hours. All right, cool. All right. Sorry, guys. We will finish up the coin or the blockchains, and then Friday we'll go over meme coins again, check out some of these ones that are pumping, and then I'm going to be pulling up a new list because we got a couple other meme coins that are starting to get going as well. And so these are little micro coins, and those are going to be fun to check out and be paying attention to as well. So join in tomorrow for some meme coins, and then I'm thinking about actually doing an X space this week or this on Friday as well after the show. Once we get done around 2, I'll probably go live around 3, 4 o'clock, and we'll have fun. We'll open up the mic for people just to BS and have a good time. So, yeah.
Yeah. All right, everybody, including you, ladies and gentlemen, we're going out with some little musica today. You're hearing All Gassed Up from Wes. Thanks for joining us today. We had a nice long show here. Covered a lot of ground today. But as always, we'll have more content for you, and we will get back to you tomorrow with a lot of stuff. Crypto Make, thank you very much for watching for much of the show. Thank you to everybody. Crypto or Kaching, thank you. Carmen Crypto, thank you. NHM Connect, thank you. Cyber Moon, Gala, and everybody else that helped us get to what we needed to get to today and get that information out. Crypto Mike says, join the cool kids, Carmen, earlier. She did. She came over and joined us. But anyway, thank you very much. We'll be back here tomorrow. Pedro will be here tomorrow. Also, stick around. Pay attention to see if we do a Rumble Premium. If you're a Rumble Premium, you can be involved in that as well. We got to do 5 hours, all right, so we got to get her done. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you same bat channel, same bat time. My name is Tom, otherwise known as Striking, the man in the box. Pedro Garcia, we'll see you tomorrow.
Look at my soul, nothing to see, nothing to know. Don't you know me, homie? I be on these lonely roads, riding with my dumpies open, hoping someone sees me choking.